happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Pour a cheerful toast and fill it, happy anniversary. But be careful you don't spill it, happy anniversary. Oh, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
It's time for Fully Threaded Radio.
It is Fully Threaded Radio, voice of the FCH Sourcing Network. Hey, if you buy, sell, manufacture, distribute fasteners, this is the podcast for you. We're glad you're on board with us today. Eric Dudas here. And joining me, as always, it's the co-host of Fully Threaded. He's the Isaac Asimov of the online fastening community. He's Brian Musker. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Isaac Asimov, that ages me a little bit. I came past where I'm meant to be, I think.
Well, I didn't want to throw the Kurzweil moniker on you, but hey, let's face it, the scrubber is doing some amazing autonomous things, and why shouldn't it be? And we've been for long enough because today, with this episode, it's our 4th anniversary. So hard to believe, buddy, huh?
Right. I mean, it's an achievement, actually. 4 is a very important number. I'm glad you chose it as the title for our podcast.
Yeah, I normally don't pay that much attention to things like that, as I guess former significant others would attest. But 4 is it is significant. You can get a high school or a college education in that number of years, and I don't know, for some reason I just feel it's been kind of momentous that we made it that far with the podcast.
Right. In numerology, 4 is it's the number of completion of a set. It means stability. And it's been important forever. 4 cardinal directions, the 4 elements. All the biblical or actual religious stories have the number 4 central to them. So we've finally made it, okay? We should pat ourselves on the back for a couple of minutes and then get back to work.
I think you're exactly right. That's great. And also thank you for adding that perspective into it, because, of course, as you know, I never would have come up with that. But, I just had this great groovy feeling. And this is episode 80 of Fully Threaded Radio, and we're publishing on March 27th, 2014. It's a great episode, and we'll start off by talking in mere moments with John Wachman, he of the Fastener Training Institute. If you were paying attention a couple of episodes ago, we talked with Tracy Lehman of the Pac West Fastener Distributor Association, and she indicated that the Fastener Training Institute has been spun off into an independent entity. We're going to get the lowdown on that from Mr. Wachman, and this is pretty exciting, Bri.
Right. Actually, if you went back 20 episodes ago, you might catch us interviewing John Wachman earlier on.
Yeah, he's been with us before, and always full of information. Good guy, John Wachman. On the Fastener News Report with Mike McNulty, he'll be joined by Ruth Dowling of Ningbo Jingding. She was in attendance at the recent Fastener Fair Mexico, and that was held in Mexico City. She'll bring us all the details on that.
So what's Fastener Fair in Spanish then? Tornillos de Fiestas, no? Right. It's a while since I learnt Spanish.
We'll have to brush up on our Fastener bilingualism, Bri, but in the meantime, we'll have a conversation on our feature segment on today's episode with our good friend, Mr. Dan Zehnder of Trinity Hardware Headquarters. Those guys are expanding like crazy, and we'll hear what's going on from his perspective from the heart of the fastener industry. And it goes without saying that Mr. Zehnder is one of our great sponsors. But we've got a whole bunch of those, don't we, Bri?
We do. The title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Stellfast and Trinity Hardware Headquarters. Stellfast, for service you deserve and people you trust. And Trinity Hardware Headquarters for parts done right. Also, Buckeye Fasteners, Volt Industrial Plastics, Fastenal, and Solution Industries, home of Solution Man. We thank these people for their support and the belief that Fully Threaded Radio is worth supporting, so you can do your part if you like Fully Threaded by supporting them.
You got that right. Send some business their way. We'd appreciate it, and we also appreciate that you're listening in. Hey, everybody, we're going to have more fun than a barrel full of Stellfast monkeys on today's episode. It's our 4th anniversary episode. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back.
When top quality and outstanding service are at the top of your list in fastener suppliers, turn to Stellfast. Since 1976, Stellfast has grown to become an industry-leading importer and manufacturer of the highest quality industrial fasteners, specialty items, and automotive parts. Our array of facilities across North America and in Asia, along with full quality control labs and ISO 9001-2008 certifications, ensure the highest quality parts, and at Stellfast, they're delivered with undisputed service excellence. We're family-run and dedicated to your success. Our customers have come to depend on the expertise of our staff and the quality of our products. We also offer a wide range of secondary services to meet some of the toughest requirements you might have. Contact Stellfast today through our website at www.stellfast.com and put us to work for you. Stellfast. Service you deserve, people you trust.
Iowa. Field of dreams, Hawkeyes, corn, the only state that starts with 2 vowels, and the home of Trinity Hardware Headquarters. What's so special about Trinity Hardware Headquarters? How about the fact that offering 30,000 types of fasteners just wasn't enough variety? So they've added new lines of packaged clamps, rib neck carriage bolts, and plow bolts. And who doesn't need new plow bolts after this winter? Trinity Hardware Headquarters also has over 600 cushioned clamps made in the USA by KMC, 18 sizes of ribbed neck carriage bolts, and over 40 sizes of plow bolt kits. And that's just the new stuff. They're still stocking their 400,000 square foot warehouse top to bottom with screws, nuts, bolts, washers, fittings, just about any fastener you could possibly need. And you can order 24/7 online from TrinityHardwareHQ.com. Or call 888-232-1010 anytime. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
Since 1905, Buckeye Fasteners and the Ohio Nut and Bolt Company have been supplying the world with high-quality fasteners. Our standard product lines include weld fasteners, braided weld screws, leg levelers, self-clinching hardware, clevis pins, rivet nuts, and various other fastener lines, allowing us to support virtually all types of industries. We have complete custom manufacturing capabilities in low carbon, medium carbon, and stainless steel materials, and our quality systems are registered to ISO standards. Our on-staff engineering department can assist you with product development and provide total technical support. Our knowledgeable sales team members offer superior customer service and are here to answer any questions you may have regarding our products. Having a hard time finding a part? Let our sourcing specialists do the work for you to locate those items. We offer competitive pricing with typically smaller minimums and shorter lead times. To find out more about Buckeye Fasteners, please call us at 800-437-1689 or on the web at buckeyefasteners.com. Buckeye Fasteners, more than just weld.
I know my customers' yearly usage, but I don't have the warehouse space to store it.
Solution Man can. Submit a blanket order and I'll not only set up release dates, I'll offer you bulk pricing too. Visit the Solution Industries website for details at solutionInd.com.
You're my fastener superhero.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Hey, this is Solution Woman over at Solution Industries, wishing Fully Threaded Radio a happy 4th anniversary. May you have many, many more years of success, and cheers to you.
Brian and Eric, your online Fastener Amigos, back with you. Hey, you can get with us anytime. Our email address is ftr@fullythreaded.com. We're also out there on Twitter, handle fullythreaded. Hey, got a note here, Bri, from the SHNE.
Yeah.
The Metropolitan Fastener Distributor Association is presenting a program coming up here. If you listen to the podcast in time, folks, it's happening April 10th. This is in New York at Moran's Restaurant. You can get all the information on the Metropolitan Fastener Distributors website, of course. But our good friend Simi from Stelfast is going to be on the panel. They've got a bunch of other really qualified people, and they're going to be talking about doing business in various areas in the industry. The official title of the program, Bri, is Doing Business in Today's Climate, which right now to me that just means butt-ass cold.
Right, I was trying to work out which version of climate they mean. There's only one that's on everyone's minds here. But we'll presume they meant to say business climate.
Yes. But it sounds like a pretty good event. So if you're out there in the great Northeast in the fastener industry, make sure you get with the Metropolitan Fastener Distributors Association website and attend.
Right.
Hey, everybody, we thank you again for listening to Fully Threaded Radio. And I want to remind you that we're the people who bring you the FCH Sourcing Network. It's a giant online database full of inventory. If you're ever looking for a hard-to-find part or something like a fill-in, get out there. The website is www.fastenersclearinghouse.com. Free to use. We got over 1 million line items. And on the flip side of that, if you're looking to move inventory or establish new business, it's also a place that we'd be glad to have you being a part of. And there's a lot to it. We won't go into it all right now. I think most of you loyal listeners are already well aware of it. But hey, we work hard on it, right, Bri? And you've been doing some interesting stuff. You have a follow-up on last episode's Rojas comments?
I didn't get any feedback from that, I might say. You may have, but that wouldn't be sort of unusual. The reality is it's all our changes went live over last weekend, and probably no one else cares or notices or worries about it except we do, because our job is to try and bring you the best set of results we possibly can. And it just was clear to us that we were not providing the best and most accurate answers, because there was many cases when this Rojas was not signified in an item. So someone could search for Rojas, but only a small portion of those were really Rojas would have been shown. Now we've taken that uncertainty out, okay? So we are still maintaining that flag hidden in the system. It's not quite gone away. It's just gone away in public.
Well, thanks for clarifying that, Bri, even though I'm honestly not entirely sure what you're telling us. However, I'm going to present it this way. FCH, Rojas hassle-free.
Right. Better than ever.
And speaking of hassle-free, the other day, as I know you couldn't make it, but I had a meeting with a couple of guys here in Naperville, and we were humorously I thought it was humorous. We were talking about it as though it was the Naperville Fastener Association. Rich Cavoto, Bob Bear, another person or two was supposed to attend, but anyway, we met up in downtown Naperville, and it was quite an interesting evening. If you're a Twitter user, you might have seen a photograph or two from that, courtesy of my good buddy Marty Nolan.
And I was waiting for the emailed version to come to me.
Yeah, we're not going to do a redux of that on this episode,
no.
Right?
Right.
But, I guess maybe one of the reasons that I was thinking of Marty is because he is the president of the North Coast Fastener Association. We were heavily plugging the upcoming Distributor Social, which is happening May 8th in Cleveland. And I noticed that they're resetting their scholarship program, right? And I think they're doing a really, really good thing. Now, I haven't seen an official release on this yet, but I have it with good word that basically what they're going to do is they're going to shift their scholarship program and focus it more on the Fastener Training Institute Certified Fastener Specialist accreditation.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, bring more people in the industry up to speed in what's important in fastening.
Right. And, we're firm believers in good education and training in all walks of life, but particularly in this industry.
And I don't think there's any question after that last event the NCFA had. They had a training week going on there, and they put together kind of an impromptu dinner meeting, and it was probably one of the biggest meetings they've ever had in the history of the association. I mean, everybody turned out, so there's not really a risk that it's not going to be a popular move.
Yeah, I mean, anybody was there, including you and I.
Well, yes. Okay, I'll take that. So speaking of the Fastener Training Institute, Bri, we've got a guy on the line with us who certainly can add some detail. I think, hey, John Wachman, you're out in L.A. today, aren't you? You're working on one of the FTI training courses.
Yeah, it's the weather is better than where you are, Eric. Kind of gloomy for L.A., but yeah, I just left the beginning of FTI's Quality Management Systems course that Carmen Vertullo is teaching down in LA, and I just took the opportunity. Tim Marzano at ND Industries lets me use one of his offices, so I came up, figured this was a quiet place that we could chat about FTI and some of the new goings on.
Well, we'd be happy to do that, and especially in lieu of you rubbing our faces in this snow squall we're having here in late March in Chicago. But thanks for pointing that out. So I don't know if...
It must be 57 degrees. I mean,
oh, that'd be nice.
You just won't quit, will you? Well,
thank you.
I don't know if you were on the line in time for... the conversation that we just had about the North Coast Fastener Association, but there was some other news that came out. Oh, it was an episode or two ago. We were talking with Tracy Lehman from Pac West, and a big announcement came down that the Fastener Training Institute is kind of reorganized. You're sort of a separate entity now. I mean, please explain.
Well, to go back in history a little bit, a bunch of years ago, we did a visioning meeting with a gentleman by the name of Mark Alcorn. He's an attorney and a management consultant, and this goes back maybe 5 or 6 years about what FTI could be in the future. And for the last 5 years, we've been kind of marching towards some of those goals. And then Tracy Lehman arranged another visioning session with Mark last October, and at that time, we decided that we would pull the string and create a nonprofit corporation called the Fastener Training Institute, and it is now a 501c6. And that was, I guess, about 3 weeks ago. And so we really appreciate. Mark is really good at taking a bunch of people and putting them in a room and kind of crafting their dreams and their wishes into let's say an executable set of goals. And so he was kind of instrumental in us getting started. But so now the Fastener Training Institute has been launched. The new board is myself, Jennifer Harder from Empire Bolt in Spokane, Kelly Cole from WCL, Dallas Puckett from Valley Nut and Bolt in Olympia, and Andy Cohn from Duncan Bolt. So that's the 5 starting board, and we're just kind of getting our feet under us, and we're working with Vicki Lester and Janine Christensen at Lester Management in launching FTI. So it's pretty exciting. We envision probably adding 2 more people to the board, but that will be as we grow and add other stakeholders. We'll let it grow. So it's pretty exciting news.
It really is, John. And you mentioned that during these visioning meetings, you were working on establishing objectives. What are the objectives of the Fastener Training Institute?
Yes.
Well, we actually have created our core purpose is to enhance fastener use, reliability, and safety by providing fastener product training and technical training at all levels. So that's our mission statement. We actually created it at I think it was that first visioning meeting we had 5 or 6 years ago, and it's really worked to kind of guide us. In 2014, we're going to have 27 classes.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of them, based in LA where we started, but we will also have an automotive class in Michigan. We'll have one of our CFS weeks in Spokane, Washington. We're doing a class in Chicago. We do a couple of classes in Cleveland, and we always do a class in Las Vegas at the Fastener Show. So 2014 is going to be a busy year for the new Fastener Training Institute.
That is jam-packed. Now, for folks who haven't been familiar up to this point with Fastener Training Institute, the CFS accreditation is one of your flagship courses. And, of course, the CFS is explained in detail at your website, which I notice has been recently revamped. Folks, you can go out to www.fastenertraining.org to get more info on all this.
Correct. But as you mentioned, CFS was one of our early developments. It started as 7 one-day classes. And I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we decided to have a CFS week where we would condense all 7 classes into 5 days. And the students come in. There's 2 days of class at the beginning, 2 days of class at the end, and Wednesday, the middle day, we actually take people out to cold heading operations and platers and other processors so that they can get a CFS certificate in 1 week. And the first class we did in Chicago. Then we do it twice a year in Cleveland. We do it in LA, and this year we've taken it to Spokane. So it's been one of our really success stories. We do a lot of classes, but the CFS core programs have been very, very popular.
And very successful if you talk to anyone who's actually been on one.
Yeah, we get when we offer courses, we do get feedback from the students every day and at the conclusion. And all of our classes are pretty well rated, but CFS is always really high. And one of the reasons why our classes and FTI has grown is because of the instructors that we use. There are around the world probably a lot of folks who know a lot about fasteners, but I think the group we have, Carmen Vertula from Carver Engineering in San Diego, Salim Brahimi from Ibeka Technologies in Montreal, my good and longtime friend Bengt Blendoff from EduPro in I guess Bengt spends a lot of his time in the States, but I guess he still lives in Sweden.
Yeah.
Lawrence Klaus joined us last year from NNI Training, and I have to mention, Joe Greenslade is not doing any physical training with us this year. He's kind of relinquished that role to Lawrence, but Joe Greenslade has been a driving force in fastener training for years. He's a big supporter of FTI, along with Rob Harris. Actually, I should mention that the CFS week, we co-produced that with IFI. So that's really an FTI and IFI joint production, and their support and help is one of the reasons why it's been so successful.
Yeah, you won't find a more fierce advocate for fastener training than Joe Greenslade. I've seen him on several occasions stand up for it, and I agree with him. FTR is fully behind this movement, and congratulations on what you've been able to achieve. Let me ask you this. If you were to set out to put one of your employees through the 5-day CFS program, what's the outlay for that?
Yeah, it's actually quite affordable if you consider the risks of having an employee make a mistake that could cost you many times over. The CFS Week is a $2,500 program. There are discounts available for endorsing associations, but basically we feel that all of our courses are well priced and provide value for both the employee and the employer who usually writes the check.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, actually, Carmen actually did like a 2 or 3 hour workshop on risk management. And one of the things you do risk by having people answer your phones and make suggestions or recommendations on product use is there are risks involved. So that if you can provide some training, you minimize your risks and you increase your value for your customers. But one of the things that I wanted to mention that the new, like if I can call it the new FDI, is that we're really trying to accelerate a schedule to provide some online training, and that's going to be offered in 2 different ways. One would be an on-demand training, and we're going to start with Fastener Basics, where someone could dial into the web, could be on an iPad in India, and start taking some classes in Fastener Basics.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Huh.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we're trying to do is that, it's some folks think it can be somewhat expensive to put somebody on an airplane and send them to another city to take a class. But if we could provide online training, we could really reach out to anyone that has an internet connection. We're actually right now in the early stages. We've contracted with a company that's helping us create the learning management system. We know a lot about fasteners. We have a lot of content. So now we're kind of working on the education side. So the online training will both be on demand and also in a webinar format. So we're hoping, we're not hoping, we've got it on the schedule that we will have some online content by the end of 2014.
Oh, okay. That's racing ahead into the modern world.
Well, one of the things that we tried to do 5 years ago is that we thought there was a need, and we wanted to be, our time to market. We wanted to make sure that we established ourselves as the place to go for training, and the same thing with online training. We want to bring that, make it available to people as quickly as we can. Another thing that we do a bit of, and we'd like to do more, is on-site training, where there are a lot of folks that have 10 or 20 people or 30 people in an area where we'll send one of our trainers in, and we'll do either one of our I'd say canned content that we deliver in other places, but we will also develop specific content if somebody wants a day or 2 of training in certain areas of fastener product knowledge. So
yeah, it makes a lot of sense, John. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with cans. I've gotten a lot of good things out of cans over there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're still hooked on those SpaghettiOs, huh?
Chef Boyardee is quite a man in my book. Hey, you were talking about something you were calling the FEF while we were talking earlier. What's that all about?
Yeah, at the same time when we were doing the visioning, we've actually created a non-profit called the Fastener Education Foundation, and that is a 501c3. It's in its early stages. We have not yet picked the founding board, but its purpose is going to be a foundation to fund fastener training. So we'll have some more news to release on it in the very near future, and I would expect probably in the next month we will announce the founding board.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Again, folks, the website for FTI is www.fastenertraining.org. We've been talking with John Wachman. He's been instrumental in spinning the FTI off into an independent entity, but he's also a independent manufacturer's rep with Desert Distribution, and one of the lines you represent is one of our favorite companies. That's StelFast.
Yes, they're good folks, and we do enjoy working with them, and we're enjoying a good year.
They're kind of setting the West Coast on fire these days, aren't they?
They made the commitment to support the Western United States and opened the branch and put a good team together. And I think it was the West Coast needed another option, and StelFast sure is filling it.
Good. Okay.
Well, there were a lot of monkeys out there already, and now there's StelFast monkeys. So,
well,
good to know.
maybe we should have a poll. I mean, we should. What color is the monkey going to be in for 2014?
Well, I don't know if Simi's ever going to give up on that one, but if anyone could do it, you could try.
Well, she doesn't even tell Don Haggerty. He doesn't know until he shows up.
Oh no, it's like Fort Knox, man. You can't get that info. Believe me, I've tried. Now, before we wind this up, I got to ask you, everybody who knows you or who has been to the Vegas show know there's always one guy walking down the aisles with a really good-looking Stetson or similar style hat. I think you corrected me on that before. It isn't actually a Stetson. But how many Western-style hats are in the repertoire?
I'd have to say I probably have a dozen. And,
oh my God!
Wow.
When Andy Cohn came across me at the Indian Wells Pac West meeting, I think it was like the third day, and he noticed that it was only a 2-hat trip. Sometimes when I go to Vegas, I'll bring 3 hats. But a hat has to match the. It depends on what boots you're wearing and what belt you're wearing, and is it warm or is it cold?
100%.
Yeah. We've had fun with the hat.
This is why I had trouble fitting in with. I first moved to Dallas. I didn't quite understand the complexity of the choice of hats.
Yeah, and the people, the courtesy. People who live in Texas and people wear hats. You don't see them wearing them indoor unless it's a certain environment, like the convention hall in Vegas. You could wear it indoors. But the Cowboys in Texas, they know the etiquette to wear a hat.
That was true, actually.
That's a good fact to know. Well, John Wachman, you've always done right by us and by the Fastener Training Institute, and we sure do appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here to explain what's going on. Believe me, I think people are taking notice. The fastener training movement, shall we call it, is really it's catching on. And you guys are doing a great job. So we appreciate it. And thank you, John Wachman.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric and Brian, we appreciate the invitation, and thanks to you guys.
And we'll be right back with more Fully Threaded Radio.
Brian and Eric, they're online. Fastener Talk Radio Extremist. You're right on with Fully Threaded Radio.
Iowa. Field of dreams, Hawkeyes, corn, the only state that starts with 2 vowels, and the home of Trinity Hardware Headquarters. What's so special about Trinity Hardware Headquarters? How about the fact that offering 30,000 types of fasteners just wasn't enough variety? So they've added new lines of packaged clamps, rib neck carriage bolts, and plow bolts. And who doesn't need new plow bolts after this winter? Trinity Hardware Headquarters also has over 600 cushioned clamps made in the USA by KMC, 18 sizes of ribbed neck carriage bolts, and over 40 sizes of plow bolt kits. And that's just the new stuff. They're still stocking their 400,000 square foot warehouse top to bottom with screws, nuts, bolts, washers, fittings, just about any fastener you could possibly need. And you can order 24/7 online from TrinityHardwareHQ.com. Or call 888-232-1010 anytime. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
You can't beat one-on-one personal meetings to maximize business opportunities. And that's exactly what NFDA Executive Sales Planning Sessions are all about. Hi everyone, this is Kevin Reidel of Hodel Natco and the NFDA, inviting you to join us in New Orleans June 17th through the 19th for our annual ESBS meeting. where one-on-one interaction with suppliers and potential customers will be our focus. If you're a longtime member, or if you've been thinking of joining the NFDA, I encourage you to attend this exciting meeting. In addition to high bandwidth interaction and other fantastic fastener industry business content, this meeting will feature a full complement of social opportunities, taking advantage of the best of the Big Easy, the historic city of New Orleans. Take a look at the NFDA website at www.nfda-fastener.org for details, and plan to attend the annual NFDA ESPS meeting June 17th through 19th. I hope to see you there.
For a selection of hundreds of thousands of fasteners, check out your local Fastenal store or Fastenal.com. We can stock domestic or internationally sourced product locally and keep your bin stock filled for you at no additional expense. We are a 9001-2008 certified company that's made a huge investment in quality control so you don't have to. And if you can't find it on our shelf, we can make it for you at the quantity you need at one of our many manufacturing facilities. Learn more by contacting your local Fastenal store or visiting Fastenal.com today.
When top quality and outstanding service are at the top of your list in fastener suppliers, turn to Stellfast. Since 1976, Stellfast has grown to become an industry-leading importer and manufacturer of the highest quality industrial fasteners, specialty items, and automotive parts. Our array of facilities across North America and in Asia, along with full quality control labs and ISO 9001-2008 certifications, ensure the highest quality parts, and at Stellfast, they're delivered with undisputed service excellence. We're family-run and dedicated to your success. Our customers have come to depend on the expertise of our staff and the quality of our products. We also offer a wide range of secondary services to meet some of the toughest requirements you might have. Contact Stellfast today through our website at www.stellfast.com and put us to work for you. Stellfast. Service you deserve, people you trust.
This is Rick Perkins from Fastener Specialties Manufacturing. Congratulations to Eric and Brian at Fully Threaded Radio for 4 years of fantastic, informative work. You are listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Hard to believe, Bri. 4 years of Fully Threaded Radio.
Yeah. Fair dinkum, mate. That's my equivalent of you saying.
Oh, something like, ai chihuahua.
Could be.
Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. That was a great conversation with John Wachman, and we wish the Fastener Training Institute the best going forward. I think stay tuned for some news on that. We're going to have an interesting contest that we're going to be developing, and hopefully we'll announce that on the next episode.
Right. Yeah, after talking to John, I had to rush away and dust off my own, not a Stetson, it was a resistor hat that the Texans made me buy when I first arrived in Dallas.
You should wear that next year in Vegas, man.
It's a very good-looking hat, actually. And, you know, when I first arrived in Dallas, people actually wore those to work. I mean, it wasn't as if it was a joke. The staff in our office in Dallas wore hats like that.
Well, there are certain places in the country where that is the proper etiquette, and where John Wachman hangs out, that is definitely one of them. Texas would be yet another.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, the Fastener News Report is just ahead, and as has been the custom for the past 4 years, the sponsor this time is Volt Industrial Plastics. Our other great sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Stellfast, Trinity Hardware Headquarters, Fastenal, Buckeye Fasteners, Solution Industries, and Fastener Technology International magazine. And thanks to every one of you for listening in.
Right.
By the way, Bri, before we get to the Fastener News Report, I got an email here from Nancy Rich of the Midwest Fastener Association. She was reminding us that registration is open for the Chicago Tabletop Show that's happening on June 23rd. Tell you, everybody, if you're not going to make it to Vegas, or even if you are going to Vegas, this is, I would say, Chicago's the second city. This is the second biggest event in the Fastener year. Don't miss it. June 23rd, website, www.mwfa.net.
Right.
Of course, I know one guy's going to be there 100%. You know him too.
Mike McNulty.
Here's the Fastener News Report, folks.
Right.
Thanks, Eric and Brian. This is Mike McNulty from Fastener Technology International magazine, bringing you the Fastener News Report, which is sponsored today by Volt Industrial Plastics, makers of the world's finest plastic fasteners. Now that spring has arrived in the USA, our video screens are saturated with basketball games, and our local landscapers are frantically trying to get fields ready for baseball. But I am still focused on fasteners and ready to deliver today's Fastener News Report. In our top story, we're going to get a report on the first ever Fastener Fair Mexico, a trade show held earlier this month in Mexico City. Also in today's report, we have newsmaker headlines from the Elgin Fastener Group, SC Fastening Systems, Advanced Components, Beneke Wire, Bassard, and Tesla Motors. On the back page report, we're going to talk about structural problems. We will get to all of that and the Fastener Fair Mexico report right after this.
Volt Industrial Plastics is the source for all your high-quality plastic fastener needs, and customer service is their #1 priority. With almost 1 million fasteners in stock and same-day shipping on stock items, Volt Industrial Plastics carries inventory so you don't have to. Volt manufactures everything in-house from over 125 different materials, and they're proud to say 100% of their products are American-made. And of course, custom tooling and in-house bagging is available. Contact Volt online at www.voltplastics.com. Volt Industrial Plastics, makers of the world's finest plastic fasteners.
You can't beat one-on-one personal meetings to maximize business opportunities, and that's exactly what NFDA Executive Sales Planning Sessions are all about. Hi everyone, this is Kevin Reidel of Hodel Natco and the NFDA, inviting you to join us in New Orleans June 17th through the 19th for our annual ESPS meeting, where one-on-one interaction with suppliers and potential customers will be our focus. If you're a longtime member, or if you've been thinking of joining the NFDA, I encourage you to attend this exciting meeting. In addition to high bandwidth interaction and other fantastic fastener industry business content, this meeting will feature a full complement of social opportunities, taking advantage of the best of the Big Easy, the historic city of New Orleans. Take a look at the NFDA website at www.nfda-fastener.org for details, and plan to attend the annual NFDA ESPS meeting June 17th through 19th. I hope to see you there.
Back to the Fastener News Report with Mike McNulty.
Today's top story is a report on Fastener Fair Mexico. Fastener Fair Mexico premiered earlier this month in Mexico City. This show is put on by the same people that produce Fastener Fair Stuttgart, the world's largest fastener and fixing trade show. To get a first-hand report on the Mexican show, we talked to Ruth Dowling. She's the general manager for the Americas at Ningbo Jingding. Hi, Ruth. Thanks for joining us on the Fastener News Report.
Hi, Mike. It's my pleasure to be here. I had the privilege of being in Mexico City last week. It was Mack Brooks' first time putting on a fastener fair in Mexico. And as you would expect, as we've all come to expect from Mack Brooks, it was a well-organized show, nice venue. The folks were definitely friendly and helpful and really put on a good show down there.
Now, was this your first time in Mexico City?
Yeah, it was. So I guess I went into it not quite
expecting 20 million people to be there.
Right. Yeah, it was eye-opening. It's kind of similar to going to Shanghai in a way, because there's the traffic is very reminiscent of a city like Shanghai, and so yeah, it's a huge city and lots happening there at all times of the day and night.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've been to Mexico City. The last time I was there, they had lots of these Volkswagen Bug taxi cabs. Do they still have any of those tooling around, or have they upgraded those to like the Golf or something, or Rabbits?
I actually didn't see any bugs driving around, and I'd been warned prior to going down there that those were the taxis to stay away from, actually. So I know everybody drives a stick shift down there, so lots of traffic, lots of jolting and jerking and bouncing around on the roads, and seems like it takes forever to get from point A to point B down there.
Now, where did they have the show at? It was in Mexico City, which is obviously a huge space. What was it, the Banamex?
Yep, Centro Banamex. It's a very large facility, comparable to the Sands in when we do the Las Vegas show. It seemed to be in a more modern area of town, very nice modern facility.
You were there, obviously. You were representing Ningbo Jingding in the exhibition. You guys had a exhibit space, right?
Yes, we did. The show itself was 2 full days, and us along with about 150 total exhibitors there. As far as a breakdown goes, I would say maybe 40% of the exhibitors were from Mexico, another 40% from Asia, China and Taiwan, maybe 10% from the United States market, and then another 10% that would have just been miscellaneous folks, one from Italy, 1 or 2 from Germany, 1 from Canada, 1 from Brazil, so on and so forth.
Like a little bit of mixed bag there. Yeah, I'm looking at the floor plan. If listeners want to check it out to see who was actually there, it's fastenerfair.com.mx, and then you can click on a link to look at the floor plan. I mean, it looked like a decent, smaller size show, but being a regional, being the first one, it seemed like there was plenty to do for the visitors.
Yeah, I sure think so. The traffic that came through was steady. It would slow down towards the end of the day, but again, 2 full days, so plenty to see and do in there. They did have some presentations going on as well, which unfortunately I wasn't able to participate in because I was working at my booth. But yeah, there was certainly lots to do for the folks that came. And what was interesting was I noticed that there were quite a few folks from the United States that came down to check the show out. So it was fun. Every now and then a familiar face would walk by, and I get to talk to somebody that I knew for a few minutes. So I think there were a lot of folks coming down to check it out, possibly looking for sources, possibly looking to see, what's going on at the show, and would this be a place to exhibit at in the future. And
you were seeing a combination of people looking for suppliers of fasteners to distribute, as well as maybe some suppliers thinking about exhibiting.
That was the impression that I got, because the folks coming down were, some were fastener manufacturers, some were fastener importers.
Mm-hmm. Looking for new sources. Yeah.
Right.
Now, being down there the first time at this show, did there any interesting stories, trade show gossip, or anything interesting happen while you were down there?
Yeah, I can think of a couple things. One thing that's a little bit humorous, actually. I'm working for a Chinese factory. We had some of our folks from the Chinese office there in the booth with me, and it was interesting to see them using English as their second language, and the Mexicans who had come to our booth using English as a second language, and the two both trying to communicate in that. Communicate in English. So I was the translator from Chinese English to Spanish English. So that part was a little humorous, but you'd be surprised what they'll do to get the message across. So there's hand signals, there's pointing at products, there's anything they can think of. Sometimes just a pen and paper where they write down the words in English and then the other party can understand. So that certainly made for some entertainment at times, but folks were working hard, and where there's a will, there's a way. So they got the message across and message received, and everybody's doing business. So, and then the other part that I thought was interesting is there were Mexican folks coming up to our booth looking for better quality parts than they could find manufactured in Mexico. And there was one example in particular that was a grade 2 hex cap screw, which is it's a low carbon, fairly common commodity type item. And the Mexican distributor had mentioned that he had gone through 3 different Mexico factories and hadn't yet found somebody that would produce or could produce that to spec. So what kind of struck me there is, in the U.S. there's somewhat of a perception of Chinese product not being as good as U.S. product. And then to go to Mexico and have the Mexicans come into the Chinese and saying, we hear your product is better. We want your product. So that was, just an interesting sort of role reversal as far as the quality perception goes.
Right. So the Chinese moving up on the scale of quality. They've been doing it. So many companies there doing it for so long. I mean, that's naturally going to happen. They're going to get better quality. So that's kind of an interesting take on the suppliers there. Now, what are the products that you guys specialize in, or sectors?
Jinding's core competency is grade 5 and grade 8 hex cap screws, socket products, A325 structural bolts, as well as B7 and L7 high strength bolts, studs, and threaded rod for the oil and gas industry. So we get into some industrial, some construction, and then some oil and gas.
Anything booming down there in Mexico? I mean, I would guess the energy is doing well.
The automotive sector was
right.
The dominant sector, and that was prevalent as far as who was exhibiting and who was, poking their heads in to see what was going on down there. Other than that, I would say construction and oil and gas would be the next 2 that come to mind. Yep, probably in that order.
Yeah, I read an article a little while back that, in Mexico, automotive has almost doubled the level that it was in 2009, which is a low point for all automotive production, but that's pretty dramatic increase.
Yeah, it appears to be coming back around, and I've heard numbers around the 15% of U.S. cars are coming out of Mexico now, and in 2016 it's going to be 30% or something.
Wow.
Huge increase in a very short amount of time. So if that holds true, I guess we'll know in a couple of years.
Right. So what is the plan? Did they announce plans for the show to restage a second one in a couple of years or next year, or did they not do that yet?
To my knowledge, nothing's been put in writing yet, but based on the turnout and what I was hearing from other folks down there, other exhibitors, I think the show was well received, and I think it'd be a show that we would expect to see again, if not next year, the year after. And I do think this show will grow and get more attention, especially from the U.S. market.
So the key question, I guess, is if they have the show again in a couple of years or so, would you be returning as an exhibitor?
If I am still employed with Ningbo Jinding at that time, I would. Yes, we would attend the show again.
Definitely go back. Good.
Yep.
You have to brush up on your Spanish or your English, Chinese, Spanish combination translation.
Yeah.
Good. So you're back in the States now, I assume.
Yep, I made it home safe and sound, and actually, this is a little embarrassing on my part, but I'll share it anyway. I had no trouble down in Mexico at all. I thought the food was great, the people were great. For my first solo international business trip, I was really proud of myself till I got back to O'Hare. And it being late on a Friday and coming from a warm climate, I was still wearing flip-flops, and it was 45 degrees or something here in Chicago, and standing outside waiting for my ride that didn't come after an hour, my feet got numb, and eventually I had to find a new way to get home from the airport, and ended up dragging my my oversized trade show luggage back through the airport, and my toe got caught in an escalator.
Oh.
And
frozen toe.
The frozen toe, and it did a fair amount of damage. There was quite a bit of blood, nothing broken, but I don't know if that's too graphic for our audience, but there you go. So no harm, no foul until I was back on U.S. soil.
Yeah, so hopefully it's healing up, and then you have to pack a different pair of shoes to come home. The people that come home from vacation and show.
Yeah, I'll be a little
show up in their
smarter
shorts
about
and tank tops, and then it's winter, and they're coming home from Florida or something.
it. Oops.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're back safe and sound. Hope you heal up good. And what's next? Do you guys have any other shows coming up this spring, or are you going to be waiting until the fall to travel again?
I will be attending, or actually exhibiting, I should say, at the Southwest Fastener Association show in Dallas, which don't have that date in front of me, but that's
I think it's in April.
Yeah, it looks like April 26th. So,
well, you won't have to travel as far that time.
Right.
Well, very good. I'm glad that the show went well, and it sounds like it's something that's going to continue to be useful for people to attend in the future. And I'd like to thank you again for joining us on the Fastener News Report.
Well, sure. Thanks for having me, and want to give a quick shout out to Fully Threaded Radio on their 4th anniversary.
Very good. Or Cuatro.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
That was Ruth Dowling, General Manager of the Americas for Ningbo Jinding, reporting on Fastener Fair Mexico. Next up, today's top Fastener Newsmaker headlines. Elgin Fastener Group, based in Batesville, Indiana, has hired Susan Sturley as the Inside Sales Customer Service Manager for the company's Cleveland, Ohio operation. Susan brings 25 years of experience in sales, marketing, and fastener product distribution to Elgin, having spent much of that time with Heads and Threads International. Co-owners Scott Phillips and Chuck Demonkus of SC Fastening Systems, a hardware distributor based in Macedonia, Ohio, report that SC is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. An open house celebration is planned for this summer, and it will include food tents, tours of the company's new facility, and multiple vendors showing off product displays, demonstrations, and handing out samples. Advanced Components in Dallas, Texas tells us that Tammy Work has joined the company as Regional Sales Manager based in Eastern Pennsylvania. Tammy brings more than 15 years of experience to the specialty fastener industry, spending the last decade as A. Raymond Tinnerman's Distribution Manager. Advanced Components is a master stocking distributor of fastener products. J. David Beneke and his father, Charles Beneke, co-founded Beneke Wire Company in Louisville, Kentucky in 1968. After 46 years of service, J. David has announced his retirement, and he has named Ken Downs as the new president of the company. Ken is a longtime Beneke Wire executive, and he has been responsible for engineering and production at the company for 30 years. Beneke Wire makes aluminum wire and rod for the fastener industry. And our top newsmaker headline is that Bussard, based in Switzerland, has been awarded a $140 million 3-year contract from Tesla Motors in the United States. Bussard will be providing Tesla with production fasteners, engineering, and logistical services. This deal has prompted Bussard to open a new distribution center near the Tesla Motors factory in Fremont, California. Bussard and Tesla have been working together for more than 4 years on the development of the Model S electric vehicle, which can be seen at teslamotors.com. Finally, let's turn to the back page for a report on structural problems. I just read an article titled 5 Structural Problems That Are Destroying America. It's written by John Hawkins, a columnist at townhall.com, and I think that it clearly summarizes some of our problems that are not the domain of one political party and that will not be solved by winning back the White House or Congress or by donating money to Republicans, Libertarians, or Tea Party folks. The first step is to identify and own the problems, and the second step is to fix them. Hawkins' top structural problems are, number 1, insufficient turnover in Congress. Because of a lack of term limits, Congress has turned into a stagnant pond of ruling class elites. Number 2, a broken education system. The primary goal today of our education system is not to educate students, it's to sustain the teachers' unions and to fatten the bank accounts of college professors and administrators at our universities. Overall high school education quality keeps on dropping, and the cost of college education continues to skyrocket. Number 3, unsustainable spending. It's impossible to pay off the national debt while increasing spending and keeping the commitments we've made to citizens via Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the monster now called the Affordable Care Act. Number 4, our immigration policy. An ideal policy would be based on merit. It would focus on adding highly skilled immigrants. It would be adjustable and wouldn't change the demographics of our country, and it would be simple and inexpensive for law-abiding immigrants. The current system meets none of these requirements. And the 5th problem is an overly progressive tax system. America doesn't have the highest taxes in the Western world, but it has the most progressive tax system in the world. A simple flat tax with no deductions or loopholes would get everyone's attention and make governments more accountable to the rate being charged and the money being collected. Now, I agree that these are some of our basic structural problems and they are relatively easy to fix if anyone really wanted to fix them. Unfortunately, I don't have much confidence in changes coming down the road because something is missing from this list. That something is the breakdown of the family and communities as well as a lack of understanding of doing what is right. We could even say that until families, communities, and virtues are valued again, then we will never have much success at fixing any of the structural problems facing the country. This has been Mike McNulty of Fastener Technology International bringing you the Fastener News Report. Remember to send your news, pictures, comments, corrections, or complaints to me at mcnulty@fastenertech.com.
Our great friend Dan Zehnder is up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's Fully Threaded.
First, there was fire, and man said, "Fire, good." Then there was the wheel, and man said, "Wheel, good." With the invention of the wheel came the need for fasteners, and man loudly exclaimed, "Buckeye, good." Buckeye Fasteners, providing quality products since the dawn of man.
The preceding message was brought to you by Buckeye Fasteners and the Ohio Nut and Bolt Company, proud Fastener Show sponsors of Old Rusty Bolt Beer, official beer of the Traveling Salesman.
Tell 'em Grog sent you. Ugh.
Hi everyone, it's Brian Musker. If you're listening to Fully Threaded, then you're no doubt aware of the FCH sourcing network found at fastenersclearinghouse.com. You've probably also heard about our legendary scrubber software that makes listing your inventory on FCH a snap. But have you heard about the new FCH SmartLink interface? With SmartLink, users of Business Edge, InSequel, and Distribution One have a new weapon in the war against excess inventory because each of these platforms now links directly to the FCH scrubber system through an automated interface. The best part is that this new tool is available at no additional charge to FCH members who use Business Edge, InSequel, or Distribution One. With SmartLink, you can keep your inventory listings up to date with the click of a button. So it's a win-win for all FCH users. The new FCH FastLink interface is really big news, and we'll be thrilled to have your company using it. Business Edge, InSequel, and Distribution One users should contact their software provider for details, or just call me, Brian Musker. You can reach me through the FCH website at www.fastenersclearinghouse.com. That's fasteners with an S, and the S is for scrubber.
Where do you go when you need fasteners fast, or a unique part that you can't live without? 3 words, Trinity Hardware Headquarters. You can easily find whatever you're looking for with our convenient online catalog that features over 30,000 different types of fasteners available in packaged quantities, product kits, and assortments. And now you can order over 2,000 of the most popular line items online 24/7, 365. Whether you're looking for standard inch and metric sizes or one of those hard-to-find parts, it's not hard to find at TrinityHardwareHQ.com. With over 400,000 square feet of warehouse space in locations throughout the Midwest and South, filled with over 18 million pounds of fasteners, Trinity Hardware Headquarters has exactly what you need. When you can't afford downtime, let Trinity Hardware Headquarters hold it together with the fasteners you need. Visit our website at www.trinityhardwarehq.com or call us at 888-232-1010. Trinity Hardware Headquarters, for parts done right.
I don't have time to look for the best price for a socket head cap screw zinc plated with a patch.
Solution Man can. Let me handle all of your secondary processes, and I'll even ship the finished product. One price, one purchase order, one invoice, and one shipment equals one solution. Visit the Solution Industries website for details at solutionind.com.
Solution Man, you're my primary source for secondary processes.
Good one.
Hi, this is Jackie Ventura congratulating Fully Threaded Radio on their 4th year of bringing news and information to the fastener industry. Happy anniversary and keep up the great work.
Well, Bri, the most famous and influential people in the fastener industry always join us on this show. And
of course, and why wouldn't they want to?
Today's no exception. Hey, Dan Zehnder, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Well, glad to be with both you gentlemen again. It's always good to talk to you.
Likewise.
Trinity Hardware Headquarters continues to expand, and what does the atmosphere look like to you? I mean, how are things spreading?
Well, 2014 has started off, I'm going to attribute it mostly to the weather and a few things like that. A little more sluggish than usual.
Selling a lot of plow bolts, is that what you're saying?
We sold out of all our plow bolts in 5/8 through 1 inch diameter earlier this year, and that surprised me. But it's been a good year on some items and not so good on others. But spring will soon be here, and that'll last for a couple of weeks, and then we'll go into summer, and that hopefully will get a little busier.
How I would have thought you wouldn't be selling plow bolts when the whole ground's covered in snow.
Well, for snow removal, and there's construction down south and other parts of the country where they are moving a lot of dirt, and our road building support work is actually quite busy and has been for about the last 18 months.
So is that an area you always win, or is this sort of newer for you?
No, it's the manufacturers that we service produce small, compact equipment ideal for road construction or parking lots and foundations, a lot of foundation and home building work. And so that's where we see a lot of that activity. And that's been very strong. I know we have one customer in southern Illinois that was telling me that as a result of the release of some money late last year by the federal government, he was actually able to go out and purchase 6 new machines, which was the largest investment he's made in over 2 years. So that I found encouraging, and I think there's a lot of things out there that are encouraging, at the same time a little concerning. The uncertainty in Washington always, and as to what they're going to do or not do, keeps people sitting on the sidelines.
Well, what do you mean by that concerning? I mean, get into that more specifically, Dan.
Well, we're an S corporation, and the tax situation. What are they going to do with corporate tax? How's that all going to play out? Healthcare costs is mandated by the government, and what may or may not be. It creates just all this uncertainty and just drives cost. I mean, I look at our re-upping of our insurance, our company insurance in November, and I know we paid several points extra premium because of that uncertainty, and I just don't know why.
How many are in your crew?
How many people work for us?
Yeah.
About half.
You're not allowed to say that.
Maybe I said that wrong.
I think you did.
No, we've got 140 full-time equivalents on our payroll.
Hopefully, most of them are on the good half. Well,
no, we have a great team. Seriously, they're going to hear this and they know I'm joking, and they're a wonderful group of people, and I mean that seriously. We've enjoyed double-digit growth every year since our inception 11 years ago, and right now, frankly, we think 14 is going to be the same thing. We've set the stage for some very good diversity, as well as new business ventures that we think are going to pay off very nicely.
Which is all cool, and we're all in favor of that. But coming back to the central point, how is this legislation affecting you? I mean, you've got this level of people working for you half-time or full-time. I'm sure, based on what you said, I know the answer to that. But, I mean, how is it impacting your business?
Well, I don't want to say that tax/government instability is what drives all our business decisions. It's not. But, theoretically, as we play out some of the scenarios, if we do this, what might this mean if taxes go this way? What will it mean if they go that way? We spend more time on it, quite frankly, than I think we need to. And when we're looking at investing several $100,000 in equipment or plant expansion and things like that, you start saying, well, what if I don't have the revenue to support it because my customers upstream, they don't make the investments that they need to because of something else? It's those kinds of things that makes the conversation longer than it should be.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So why we can't simplify this and, in my mind, roll up our sleeves at the government level and say, look, we're going to start spending, living within our means and constraining ourselves to create the proper long-term sustainable structure that benefits families and individuals for many, many years to come. Why we can't do that, I don't know.
Right. So you would have been in favor of the interview last week with one of Eric's old-time acquaintances, Nick Dranius, discussing the attempt to put an amendment to force a balance of the budget into the books of the Constitution, actually, isn't it?
I believe so. I believe you're right.
I mean, but all of us sit and have the same wonder, whether we are wondering about the state of the Illinois government or Cook County, and think, well, okay, all of us have been through slightly tougher times in the last few years, and all of us have been faced with this problem. How do we pay all the things we have to pay and pay ourselves and live and do it honestly and hopefully okay? But this is not even entered into our government's thinkings, be that local or state or federal. The idea is, we just have to increase the taxes.
Right. Money is the drug of choice in Washington and our state capitals, and it just appears that they can't get enough of it, and when they do get it, they just spend more than they have to begin with. And at least that's how it appears from my vantage point.
Well, I think from most vantage points outside of Washington, D.C., unless you work in some government function, okay?
Yes. Someone asked me the other day, you've been in this business now 35 years and owned your own business for more than 20 years, or been part owner of a business for more than 20 years. And how do you see things? And I look at it this way. It's a little bit like running uphill in sand. It's a little harder than it used to be. Customers are getting more sophisticated, taking longer to make decisions. They're looking for more value in what they want. It's not just the purchase of a product. It's everything that comes with that. How do you stand behind it, and so forth. And I think in general, our industry has responded well to that. But it gets challenging day in and day out to bring more customers into the fold and start closing deals sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
So innovation is huge. It's gigantic. I know at Trinity, we continue to expand our footprint. We're adding another, I think the footprints will be somewhere between 60 and 75,000 square feet this year. Wow. We've added an assembly center. We're starting to do sub-assembly work for a variety of people, and that's going to grow, and you'll hear more about that later. But that's very exciting. We're adding more value in packaging and just a variety of things that will help the customer, make it easier for them to do business with Trinity, in making that decision easier, but at the same time making it sustainable for both us and them. So we spend a lot of time talking about building a long-term relationship as opposed to a one-off.
Right. I mean, and if your customers get no benefit from driving down pricing so much that you go out of business, as with any other thing, I mean, choice is good everywhere. And the way you deal with choice is by making sure your service is so great, people choose you because they love you.
Well, right. And I characterize it this way. You know, I can't sell half-inch hex nut any cheaper than the next four competitors. So how do I create more value for you so that, frankly, you get more out of the spend that you make with me than you would with the other guys? And so we spend a lot of time working on that and building our presentations and our activity around that. And people are starting to get it, and they listen to the message, and they actually come in and kick the tires and test it and go from there. The other thing that we do too that just a couple of weeks ago was made evident to me that was beneficial is if we're not a good fit for a customer, we tell them. And if we can make a recommendation, even if it's into our competitor because they do things better, well, that's okay. We're not all going to be all things to all people. But just because you turn somebody over to who might be a competitor today, who knows? Maybe in the future, at some point in time, they will have something that you need. They'll value that openness on your part and want to do business with you in a different way. So I'm okay with that, and I think that as we grow in the industry, people will do more and more of that.
That's really strong, Dan.
And I turn most of those customers over to suppliers that I know have no product liability insurance either.
You could have left that bit out, okay? It was sounding like I was ready to get my handkerchief out and wipe my eyes for a while. Now you finished with that.
No, I'm kidding.
I know.
Well, Mr. Zehnder, we've been talking for a while now, and nothing you've said has surprised me because I know the kind of guy you are, and I do appreciate it. Dan Zehnder, what's the website?
Trinity Hardware HQ.com.
What could be easier?
Right. And I really like your new ads. I've sort of got sick of me talking about Trinity. I think your new ones are better than me, okay?
Well, I got to be honest with you. We're getting a lot of people calling up and saying, what happened to that, very sexy British voice that you had on there? We're not hearing that anymore. And well, we're giving him a rest.
Okay. Thank you.
We're giving him
I like the rest.
No, it's always great talking to you guys. You really seriously put out an exceptional product. We love working with fully threaded radio with Fastener Clearinghouse. It's just, as my grandmother would say, these are good people.
Well, we appreciate that. You can't imagine. And we'll be right back with more Fully Threaded Radio.
Talk radio for the fastener industry. It's not really all that bad for the most part. Brian and Eric, Fully Threaded Radio.
Ah, Iowa. Field of dreams, Hawkeyes, corn, the only state that starts with 2 vowels, and the home of Trinity Hardware Headquarters. What's so special about Trinity Hardware Headquarters? How about the fact that offering 30,000 types of fasteners just wasn't enough variety? So they've added new lines of packaged clamps, rib neck carriage bolts, and plow bolts. And who doesn't need new plow bolts after this winter? Trinity Hardware headquarters also has over 600 cushioned clamps made in the USA by KMC, 18 sizes of ribbed neck carriage bolts, and over 40 sizes of plow bolt kits. And that's just the new stuff. They're still stocking their 400,000 square foot warehouse top to bottom with screws, nuts, bolts, washers, fittings, just about any fastener you could possibly need. And you can order 24/7 online from TrinityHardwareHQ.com or call 888-232-1010 anytime. Trinity Hardware headquarters for parts done right.
For a selection of hundreds of thousands of fasteners, check out your local Fastenal store or Fastenal.com. We can stock domestic or internationally sourced product locally and keep your bin stock filled for you at no additional expense. We are a 9001-2008 certified company that's made a huge investment in quality control so you don't have to. And if you can't find it on our shelf, we can make it for you at the quantity you need at one of our many manufacturing facilities. Learn more by contacting your local Fastenal store or visiting Fastenal.com today.
I need 5,000 3/4, 10 by 9 and 3/4 grade 8 zinc yellow tap bolts right away, but they're not a standard size.
Solution Man Ken. I carry a wide variety of sizes and I can quickly cut them to any length. See Solution Industries website for details at solutionInd.com.
Using your bare hands?
I do use a saw on smaller parts, actually.
Hey, this is John Wachman from Desert Distribution Sales, and I want to congratulate Eric and Brian on completing their 4th year of fully threaded radio. They've beat the odds.
Brian and Eric back with you on the online Fastener Party Bungalow.
Or the party fishing boat. Could be.
It's coming up, Brian. I like how you're thinking, though.
Yeah.
But I tell you, with the season that we're having, and I don't really want to dwell on this too much, but I was kind of surprised when we were talking with Dan Zehnder of Trinity Hardware headquarters. It seemed obvious to me that those guys would be selling a lot of plow bolts. And I don't know, you seem kind of surprised by that. I mean, where else do you sell those things if not by breaking them all the time, plowing snow?
Well, in my thinking, which clearly is wrong, I mean, it would be to farmers who use plows to plow their fields, okay?
Okay, got it, yeah.
You certainly wouldn't be doing that because, everything's frozen.
All right.
But Dan did spend a little time actually defining for me something that's worried me for a while, the difference between a plow bolt and a scraper blade bolt, and should we have them listed as two different things?
Interesting. Well,
my answer is it depends. It depends.
All right. Am I reading into this that there's going to be a several hour-long offline conversation about this between you and Dan?
No, we had this already.
Oh.
So, anyway, I actually did make a change. I added the word scraper blade bolt in the type description, just so people would know that it was listed under plow bolts.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I knew that you were very, very concerned that I'd done that. Okay.
Hear about inside baseball, folks? Well, this is inside fasteners. Or inside the scrubber, I guess.
Right. Yeah, the scrubber spends his time worrying about things like this. How do we do this stuff? Okay.
Yeah, right.
This is one of the minutiae the scrubber deals with on a daily basis.
Well, I'm sure glad that you do that. And I'm also glad that people like Dan Zehnder of Trinity Hardware headquarters joined us on today's episode. Thank you so much, Dan. I'd like to also thank our other guests on today's program. John Wachman of the Fastener Training Institute and Desert Distribution was with us. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments over there. Also, Ruth Dowling with Ningbo Jinding reported for us from the Fastener Fair Mexico that happened recently. She, of course, was on the Fastener News Report with Mr. Mike McNulty of Fastener Technology International magazine. Thanks to all of you. We couldn't do it without you.
Yep, you're right.
The title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are StealthFast. For service you deserve and people you trust, it's StealthFast. And Trinity Hardware Headquarters. Trinity, for parts done right. Also, Solution Industries, Volt Industrial Plastics, Buckeye Fasteners, Fastenal, and Fastener Technology International magazine. And of course, everybody, our biggest supporters are you, the listeners. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing the show. And we do appreciate it when you communicate with your coworkers and friends that we're out there. And we see the numbers rising all the time. So thanks a lot.
Yep. Tell everyone else who you think could be interested in faintly fastener-related subjects, including numerology and everything else.
Yes, right. Predominantly fastener-related subjects.
Right.
It was our 4th anniversary. We put our first episode out on March 18th 4 years ago. And, of course, it's not a precise anniversary, but this is the first one in our 4th year. And, gosh, Bri, it's just hard to believe.
It is. It is. And actually, if you go back and listen to some of the past ones, which I encourage our current listeners to do, if you've joined us more recently, there's a lot of, some of them are actually very interesting, and, you know, like everything else, quality varies slightly, but in general, a lot, they're funny and good.
If we do say so ourselves.
Right. And you might find a few fastener-related things that have definitely not gone out of date over the last few years.
No, that's very true. And I'd like to bring one thing up here, and that is that we've always really encouraged folks to contribute commentary, and we really want to get more and more listener input into the show. So you can get with us anytime at our email address, ftr@fullythreaded.com. We also hang out on Twitter a little bit. The handle there, Fully Threaded. And we've got a Facebook page as well. But however you communicate with us, if you're in this industry, we'd love to hear from you.
Right. And just so I'm sure you know already, but our Facebook page usually contains follow-up links to things we may discuss, especially some of the less fastener-related things. But you'll find the links on there.
True. As we say over and over, it's really kind of an attempt at indemnification under circumstances that we really don't want to think about. But we'll see you out there. And with that, let's put episode 80, our 4th anniversary issue, in the can.
Right, and in keeping with our theme, I'll say, see you next time. Hasta luego.
Hasta la squeegee. For Brian Musker, this is Eric Dudas. Get out there, sell some fasteners, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, until next time, folks.
Fully Threaded Radio is a production of Fasteners Clearinghouse. Music provided by Audionautics.